Our next teller is the illustrious president of the Asheville Storytelling Circle this year. He is a monk, an activist. I bet you can't guess what his favorite color is. I'm not sure. He's the author of 7 books, and he wanted me to tell you the title of his story, which is Privilege. May I present Dada Maheshvarananda.
Thank you. I'm 9 years old. My family moves from a suburb of New Jersey to Gainesville, Florida. I'm shocked to learn I have to go to a segregated, all-white elementary school named for a dead Confederate general. My family joins an all-white church, an all-white country club. The signs of that Jim Crow era, let it be very clear, whites only, colored, where Black people were not allowed to go. I'm in the kitchen with my mother, and I'm complaining. This system is rotten. Friends from New Jersey couldn't go to the school that I go to now. She turned to me and said, "You know, you cannot change the world." I don't know what to say. If we can't stop injustice, humanity's doomed. I'm 14. My family moves back up north to Ohio. Upper Arlington, a suburb of 50,000 people of Columbus, Ohio. Only white people. Why? Because the Fair Housing Act of 1968 hadn't been implemented yet. So real estate agents could just refuse to rent or sell a house to anybody who wasn't white. I have to go to an all-white school again. My family joins another church, Protestant, all white. But something in the parking lot disturbs me. All these very expensive luxury cars. And after an hour, the owners get back in and they all go off. I think there must be something wrong. But what's wrong with being very rich? Capitalism works great for some people. Why doesn't it work for everyone? I have no answer. I'm 18 years old. My father, a psychiatrist, can afford to pay $4,000 for my full tuition, room, and board to go to a very good Quaker school, Richmond, Indiana, Earlham College. I take courses in African American studies, in women's studies, in peace studies. I learn about the terrible discrimination, invisible barriers, and sometimes violence that women, people of color around the world sometimes face. Ernie Thurkill, brilliant athletic Black student, become my roommate. I learned so much from him. We're still friends 50 years later. The Vietnam War was raging then. So in my dorm room, I hung an American flag, but upside down, a symbol that our country, I think, is in great distress. And on the other wall, I have a poster with the words by the revolutionary Che Guevara. At the risk of sounding ridiculous, I would say that the true revolutionary is guided by great feelings of love. That's what I want to be. I want to change the world and stop injustice as fast as possible. But I want to do it with love. Two years at Earlham College, I loved it. Then I felt compelled to quit. I was too comfortable. The word privilege had not been coined yet, but that's what I was. I was a white, able-bodied, heterosexual male in an upper middle class Protestant family in the United States. For me, privilege was just normal. Because I'm leaving, family says, no more support for your education. So I got a tiny apartment in the college town, worked minimum wage jobs. With a backpack and $40, I hitchhiked all around the country. I worked on a farm in Wisconsin for 6 months. Now I'm 21. I'm invited to come and live with my father again for a while in New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't know anybody in the town, but I decide I want to start a men's consciousness raising group. I've read books about women's studies, and Ms. Magazine, all the early issues, well, even till today, they always had a column for men, explaining about masculine identity and patriarchy and trouble with gender roles. So I make a little leaflet inviting for this men's consciousness raising group to meet in my house once a week. Tulane University was nearby. I put it around there. And I learned that there's a gay students' union at the university. I went. I invited the men, anyone who would like to come to join. Eventually, 5 did and became very good friends. They recommended books I could read about the discrimination and persecution that many gays and people of other gender minorities faced. One time, I'm coming to the meeting, and right at the door, a well-dressed man stops me and very enthusiastically invites me to his house for a date. My friends inside, who know I'm straight, they're kind of amused to watch. I'm rather flattered. He thinks I'm attractive. I let him go on for a few minutes. I politely declined it. 10 men come to my house, and I'm inspired by some words that a woman who needs liberation is the woman inside every man, and a man who needs liberation is the man inside every woman. So we meet. 5 of us are gay, 5 straight, but we all agree that traditional gender roles are problematic for both women and men. As men, we feel burdened with the expectations. We should always make a lot of money, know everything, always be in control, be able to fix any problem, never get lost, and never show our feelings. At the same time that I'm doing the men's group, I join a free yoga class. Back then, only hippies and weirdos did any yoga or meditation, but I was a bit of both, so I went. I loved it. Felt more flexible, got full of energy, wonderful. the yoga healthy lifestyle seemed to bring out both the masculine and feminine parts of me. I found that a monk came to teach me a personal mantra and technique. He was from the Philippines, dressed like me. I appreciated it. But there was another guy who came with him, a volunteer, Prakash. And he told me something interesting. He said, you know, the founder of Ananda Marga was not only a spiritual master from India, Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, he was a revolutionary. Really? Yes, he said that when the entire wealth of the universe is the common heritage of everyone, what justification can there be for a system that allows some people to roll in luxury while others die for lack of a handful of grain? Capitalism must end. He said that. Sign me up. I'm in. I'm 24. I'm flying to India to train as a monk. But I don't go until I make absolutely certain that the monks and nuns are equal in Ananda Marga, the path of bliss, the organization I'm joining. We're trained to teach yoga and personal mantra, but we're not able to meditate for anyone. We're not intermediaries. We can show you, anyone, how to experience that most beautiful consciousness and divine love, but we can't do it for you. I'm going to work for 40 years in 32 different countries. I asked a senior nun about this, and I said, what about visas and things like that? She laughed and she said, your struggle with visas and passports will be the first thing that makes you a revolutionary. You see, every time we cross the border, at an airport or by land, immigration officers decide whether or not to let me enter. And it all depends, usually for 2 weeks, sometimes 2 months, but it always depends on whether they're convinced that I'm financially independent. Truth is, I'm always broke. I'm living on donations from well-wishers, staying in the homes of sympathizers, sometimes yoga houses, never going to a hotel or restaurant, never. But I was born a white male, and now I've got a US passport. And virtually every time the immigration officers are fooled into believing that I must be some weird, wealthy tourist, and they let me in. I just checked. Tonight, 49,000 men, women, and children are in immigration detention centers in this country, ICE. Their crime? They were born in the wrong country. I'm a white male, able-bodied, heterosexual, born in a middle-class, educated family in the United States. Privilege for me was just normal. I never earned it. But I'm a revolutionary. And I'm going to work for the rest of my life to try to make a world in which everyone has the opportunity, everyone is safe from violence, everyone has the basic necessities of life to live. a revolutionary, and I'm trying to do it with love. Thank you.
Okay, yes, sir.